Tune into NiceRadio every Saturday at 7:30 a.m. for A View from the Outside, hosted by Brereton Horne. A View from the Outside takes a look at key issues affecting St. Vincent and the Grenadines and gives a global perspective on how these issues are viewed. Host Brereton Horne will examine a variety of topics to enlighten, stimulate debate, and explore solutions. Hear the facts, hear the real-life stories, hear A View from the Outside. Join Brereton Horne at 7:30 a.m. every Saturday on NiceRadio for A View from the Outside.
On A View from the Outside this week being the 25th of August 2018, we look at Pretence, 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 with the view being that there is simply too much pretense in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And as a consequence, the worse things get in the country, the greater the effort that is being made to perpetuate pretense. The Collins Dictionary defines pretense as an action or a way of behaving that is intended to make people believe something that is not true. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, there's a concerted effort being made, a pretense, especially by the regime, to make things appear to be better than they are. They give the impression that things are getting better when they are not. They do so as a means of trying to continue to convince or to hoodwink you, the people of the country. They stifle the truth. They even go as far as telling you what you feel and what you think. And they do so by using every means available to them. They dominate the radio stations. They dominate the television. They use the church and its leaders. They use the news media. They use social media. They use the rank and file of their members. That is, they use the ordinary members and supporters also. Their pretense is on various topics. It's on the state of health care in the country. It is on accountability. It is on crime. It is on any topic which is current. You will no doubt remember how the machinery kicked into gear when there was a major concern and discussion on the poor state of health in the country. You will remember that damning, premonition-like letter which Oscar Allen, Brother A, wrote about the lack of an anesthesiologist at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. You will remember how they tried to make you believe that you can afford health care when you know you cannot. You know that you have to borrow and beg to pay for medicine on prescription from the drugstore. They try to make you believe that there is not a lack of medicine and medical supplies at the hospital and clinics around the country, when you know that there is a severe lack of those supplies. They even went as far as trying to tell you, to try to make you believe that their leadership is more important to you than the state of health care in the country. Pertaining to accountability, you know the lengths to which they have gone and continue to go to avoid making themselves accountable to you, the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They have done everything to ignore their obligation, which is mandated by the Constitution of the country. And as you know, the Constitution is the highest law of the land, and they continue to show scant regard for the Constitution of the country. They have reportedly starved the Office of the Auditor General of the resources which that department needs to carry out the audits to keep them accountable. Vincentians, you still have no accountability for the large sums of monies obtained from Petrocarib. And there is still no accountability for the construction of the Argyle International Airport, the largest capital project undertaken in the country. And the thing is, when you demand accountability, they tell you that everything is okay. But yet, in the aftermath of the Yogi Farrell scandal, they have glaringly cemented the formation of a dynasty where the father is the prime minister, the son is the minister of finance, and the daughter-in-law is the chief executive officer of the Financial Services Authority, a position which they told you was only to last for a few months. In relation to crime, you know that despite what they say, crime continues to escalate out of control. You know that people are being killed all too frequently. There have been 4 reported killings within the last week. You know about the armed robberies taking place in the country. You know about the burglaries. You know about the abduction. You know about human trafficking, which is reported to be taking place in the country. You know about the predial larceny plaguing farmers, where they lose their livestock and they lose their agricultural produce, and they seem to have no redress. You know all of that, and yet they tell you that things are not bad. They tell you that when you know that things are indeed horrible. They paint a picture to you that things are better than they are. You know your own fare, F-E-A-R, yet they try to make you believe that crime happens everywhere, so all is well in the country. They tell you all this when you know that you are living with the harsh consequences of crime and the causes of crime. You have told them, and you continue to tell them, that you are fearful, that you live in fear because of the escalating crimes in the country, especially because of the killings. And they turn around and tell you that you are not in fear. They ignore your real and true feelings and tell you that the fear that you feel is not real. They tell you that if you just mind your business, then there's nothing to fear. You know that what they tell you is not the truth, but they try to make you believe otherwise. They do everything to perpetuate the pretense. We, on a view from the outside, have recognized the lengths to which they go with the hoodwinking. We have seen the lengths to which they go to get you to live the pretense. We, therefore, encourage you to know your true self and your true feelings so that you will not fall or continue to fall prey, P-R-E-Y, to the pretense. We encourage you to question things which are said to you, irrespective of how trivial they are presented. Bear in mind the words of the proverb as quoted by publisher Henry G. Bonn. He said, "In a small pretense, the wolves devour the sheep." We encourage you not to be a sheep to be devoured. We encourage you to be critical of things which you know are not right. Speak up and speak out against the things which affect you. Be courageous and speak out about the fear which you feel, irrespective of who tells you that you are not in fear. By you being courageous and speaking up and speaking out and not suffering in silence, you will no doubt help others to find their own courage to speak up and speak out also. As you make every effort to rebuff the pretense which is being fed to you daily, we encourage you to remember that a pretense is a deceit, and we encourage you not to fall for it. We encourage you to bear in mind what the Italian novelist and journalist Alberto Moravia said. What he said about those who pretend. He said, when you are not sincere, you need to pretend. That quote, therefore, stands to reason that they pretend to you because they're not sincere. We, on A View from the Outside, also encourage you, Vincentians, all Vincentians, we encourage you to bear in mind what the Austrian British economy encouraged in his work. And he encouraged, one has to live truth and do not tolerate pretense. Vincentians, do not tolerate any pretense. Until next week, this is Brereton Horne with A View from the Outside, with a reminder to send your feedback, as usual, to aviewfromtheoutside@hotmail.com. That's aviewfromtheoutside@hotmail.com. Justin, you and all of the listeners have a pleasant Saturday. Enjoy your beautiful weather. Have a wonderful Sunday. And have a productive week ahead. And do not fall prey, P-R-E-Y, to any pretense. All the best to you and the listeners.
Okay, thank you very much. And